Imagine being banned just for playing Widowmaker. Something like this probably isn't going to happen to you if you're playing Overwatch on the PC, but if you play on a console, there's actually a decent chance that this could happen. Now, this is a story that I've talked about a couple of times in the past, but it's recently resurfaced, and this whole idea that players are being punished on the console, specifically on the Xbox One, due to just picking certain heroes is something that I think needs to be addressed and that hopefully Blizzard looks to fix in the future. So what we're talking about is certain console players being unable to find games on the Xbox One as a result of their reputation system. So if you don't know, on the Xbox One there's a multiplayer reputation system where if people report you often enough, you'll move to a status that's called Avoid Me. And if you're in that Avoid Me status, it basically puts you in a low priority queue, which makes it difficult and at certain times pretty much impossible to find other people to play with, because on top of being in that low priority queue, you obviously have all of the stuff that Blizzard tries to match you with of people of equal skill level around your same rank, similar group sizes, and all of that. So we're getting players who constantly get reported for picking unpopular heroes, hitting that Avoid Me status, and then being effectively banned from playing competitive multiplayer games of Overwatch. Now, there was a story that kind of brought this up recently that popped up on Reddit. There was a group of friends who all often play together, and they don't trash talk, they're not doing any of this shady shit, but one of their teammates is a Widow main. In fact, is actually pretty good, a globally ranked player, but is constantly being reported either by the enemy team because he's so good and blowing a lot of people up and they're getting frustrated so they report him, or just by his own team because of the simple fact that he picks Widowmaker, which is a very unpopular hero on the console because it's a lot more difficult to hit with a hero like Widowmaker if you're using a controller compared to a mouse and keyboard. So he gets reported by the enemy team, reported by his own team so often that he hit the Avoid Me status, and it's nearly impossible now for this particular player to find any matches. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up again is because this is actually something that can be addressed by Blizzard. This isn't Blizzard getting reports and then going out of their way to ban someone because they play Widowmaker, because as I said at the top of the video, that doesn't really happen on the PC because Blizzard's going through the vetting process. They're not going to ban you just because you get reported a lot. If you get reported a lot, they're going to investigate. They're going to see, are you using hacks? Are you throwing? Are you doing things that may warrant a ban? But with the Xbox One reputation system, there's no vet process. It is by sheer volume that you can hit Avoid Me status and then get to the point where you're basically not finding anyone to play with because you're placed in that low priority queue. But what's interesting here is that developers have the choice of whether or not they engage in that system. There are certain games out there like Battlefield 1 and World of Tanks that aren't a part of the Xbox One reputation system because it's so easily exploitable. They understand that this will happen and it would punish their players, so they say, Microsoft, look, we're not interested in having our community be involved in that system. And that's a step that I really feel like Blizzard has to take, because as I said, this is something that we've talked about several times before. Reports of players being negatively affected by this system. So I really do hope it's something that Blizzard considers looking into and seeing if they can back out of being a part of this reputation system and in fact to get their own report system and have them be the ones who facilitate whether or not somebody gets banned. And for the second news story today, I just wanted to briefly touch on the new upcoming loot box system. So if you didn't happen to hear, last week a PTR patch went live updating the loot box system, making it so that duplicates happen less often and that we get more credits from loot boxes. All around, Blizzard is just trying to make the loot box experience a better one after all of the feedback they received from the anniversary event. People felt like they weren't getting the skins that they wanted, and when they were getting skins or anything from the loot boxes, a lot of the times they ended up being duplicate items. So there was a lot of feedback for Blizzard, and they've taken that feedback, and it looks like they're making some positive changes. I hopped on the PTR, I opened the 5 free loot boxes to test the new system, and I didn't get a single duplicate, and that's pretty big coming from someone who has spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars purchasing loot boxes. The fact that I didn't get a duplicate speaks to the idea that the system is working as intended and greatly reducing the amount of duplicates. But it's great to hear that they're listening to us. At the end of the day, of course, they are still a business. They're still looking to make money to continue to fund future development for this game 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. The fact that they're still willing to listen to us and basically cut back on the amount of money that that they're making. Because if they're reducing duplicates that they're getting, they're reducing the incentive for people to purchase more loot boxes. That's what they're doing here. They're basically saying, we hear your feedback, we don't want you to be upset and bothered by the system, we'll take a financial hit. Now, they're still making millions and millions of dollars. I'm certain every event that comes out with the sheer volume of loot boxes that are being bought, they'll just be making maybe a couple of million less. But nevertheless, it's good that they're listening to feedback. It's good that they're making these adjustments. I'm really happy to see that these changes are coming. And yeah, good job, Blizzard. Keep at it, because you've been doing a great job. Still would like to see more, but it's good. This is good stuff. It's a good step in the right direction. All right, everybody, that is going to do it for me here today. As always, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you have a good one. And until next time, I'll see you later.